What's up, B? Don't mind me. Been catching up with everybody's emails. Music is pretty low, isn't it? Kind of a sleepless night. Insanity. We got news tomorrow, buddy. Alright. I know it's simple things in life, man, but DJ Pooh, aka DJ Bricks, in the mix. First individual to lend me his own music, and I'm proud of that. I'm proud of community stuff like that. This is gonna be a different one, for sure. I don't know what quite compelled me. I can tell you this. I kept myself awake quite a bit late last night, and I've come to a... For some of you that have known me for a while, you might just laugh and brush off the statement I'm going to make, and I guess maybe the some of you new folks be like, all right, yeah, good for you. Well, let's, hold the applause. Let's see how this turns out. But I figured, and I've done this before though, so I gotta be accountable for that. On Stuck in the Middle, I did it like more than a few times. I have decided after last night, this is gonna be like a laugh fest for a lot of people that have known me throughout the years, and I'm aware of that. But I figure, and I know for a fact, I hold myself accountable better when I promise something very publicly, like this. How much more public can you get when you bear all on frickin' YouTube, I guess, and any other platform or any other place where people kind of hear you and listen to you for good reasons or not. So the statement is, without further ado, I'm gonna try to quit drinking again and see how that helps my commitment to bettering myself and the channel. It's high time, I think, to start focusing on the possibilities, more than or equal parts. The ambition I have for the families that wish to speak out. I'm very eager to see how that goes with the Valdez family on Tuesday. There's some kind of panel. There's some kind of something where the family member, I think the sister, they've tagged me on the Facebook page. And I've been talking about this for a couple months now. 2 months maybe? This is no shade and no pressure on that family. They do what they do on their own time. I'm the guy that just said, hey, there's a channel. I'm more than willing to lend a voice. That's it. That is all. There is no pressure to any family that has reached out to myself or that I've reached out to. But I'm interested to see what this panel is, whatever it is. I owe it to them to be there, no matter where. I don't care if it's not on this channel. I do not care. I'm going to be there. So, aside from that, then, maybe shining my focus on... I got a vacation coming up, and I think I want to fly out and meet somebody. And aside from that, maybe polish up some of the stuff here. Get an actual intro, get some graphics and all that. Blah, blah, blah. But okay, so from here right now, to the community, to the Pro-Pat fam, which is, I guess, it's not fully real in my head. But if it's real to you, well then, it's even more real, if that made sense. So yeah, drinking... no more. Done. As of today. Tonight's going to be a tough one. Let's see what happens. So, what I'm trying different today, let's flip the script. I just started thinking for some time about, MK Ultra, because that's the next topic I'm going to be speaking about with CanCon. It's supposed to be tonight, but I'd fully understand if he's busy or flying out of the state writing for the Gateway Pundit. I promised I would do actual research on the topic instead of just going there and doing my whole, I like learning in real time. Some people, especially over there in Rumble, are very informed about MK Ultra and LSD and all that. So I started just doing my thing on YouTube here, and instead of having a presentation, I was going to do a full freestyle, and I wanted to watch some archival footage. I want to see what this is about and learn in real time. And then I got a video from DuckDuckGo. I did the search. Very different results. So if you search MKUltra on Google versus DuckDuckGo, that's always an interesting facet to me. But let me see what this is about, because I got some mixed feels if this is presenting it in an attractive manner or if it's going to turn into like a horror film. So let's watch in real time, shall we?
Let the deep well springs of eternal fire flow out from the source of all knowledge.
I love spoken word poetry.
Source of all
Guilty.
sensation. Let the transcendental forces of the mystical world unite in you, reaching back over the countless eons, the generations of man. You'll find that
Groovy,
a new lightness
bro.
has entered your heart, that you can rise above the petty tribulations of the day, that you can float unencumbered upward toward your destiny.
I'm floating to my destiny as we speak.
You will find to become one with your surroundings. You live in perfect harmony with the world.
This is not making me want to trip.
You can reach out your hand and become one.
It's just a happy frolic in the middle of nowhere. Is he running from something, or is he running towards his destiny, unencumbered, weightless, floating? This guy. I like this guy. Are they giving the illusion that the floor is moving? Is that what's going on?
You'll find your mind begins to expand. Your consciousness to reach out to embrace all eternity.
What the hell is he doing with the plate?
And here all things are clear to you. Here all things are as smooth as a running stream.
Somebody's gonna commit, like,
Transparent as
a mass
shining air.
unaliving.
While far below the sparkling diamond highlights of the universe twinkle in response.
I've got some funny trip stories. I got one of Josh and myself. Pizza toppings. I'll share this much, and it was a hell of a night. We even recorded talking to one another. I had an entirely different voice and persona, and I talked like a jazz band artist. I was like, that's how I talked for like maybe 4 hours. Like, yeah, man, this is pretty wild, man. I couldn't stop laughing. And there was a moment where Josh and I just were like, we have to walk. We have to go and walk. And so we passed a cemetery while we had some pizza toppings in our system. Here, let me pull back for a moment. I want you to appreciate this moment with me that I will forever remember. I miss Josh a lot. Okay. Oh, and he moved. For those of you that don't know, I'm not in studio. He's 5 hours away. I'm looking forward to being in the studio again with Josh. But we're frolicking in the night on the pizza toppings, and we pass a cemetery, and I don't know what it was about the moment where we just stopped and started staring. First off, we looked down the road, and some guy walking his dog was really freaking us out. All right, he's like probably a mile or so away, and we felt like this dog walker was on to us. We panicked. We went the other direction. And so finally with this damn cemetery, I think we were able to focus on it, and the spooky dog walker man's silhouette wasn't scaring us anymore. For some reason, the cemetery was a comfort. And Josh and I climbed up on this fence, this gated area. We climbed up, and I don't know which one of us did it first. I'd have to ask him, or find the Stuck in the Middle episode 0 as we titled it. And we shouted down. This may be disrespectful when you hear it, but just know our intention was pure. We stood on the gate, raised our arms in triumph, and we just shouted at the cemetery, "We won. Like, we're alive. We won." I mean, we're not gonna win one day, you know. We were very conscious of that, but in the moment, we appreciated that we were alive, and we were respecting that there was, you know, hundreds or dozens of you know, people at rest. And in this moment where we were just, you know, on an extended journey in consciousness, it felt like we had to pay some sort of respect and celebrate that moment. So like maniacs, like lunatics, we were just screaming to the sky. Think of Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Are you not entertained? We were like, we won! Woohoo! Yeah! we won, or we're winning. I don't know if we said we were winning, we won. This was a bit of some time ago, but it was a special moment, a special memory, and we laughed about it, and yeah. And then the air started to attack us or something. So okay, back to Grooviesville here. Man, I'm looking forward to that. And I don't know what's up with me doing this in the mornings or in the day. It's just I worry like at night I'm not going to be here, and I know that's like the prime time for YouTubers to go live, but if anything, this channel is going to remain an extension of just how manic my mind is. Does everybody else wake up and say, I have to go right now. I'm thinking about this right now. I'm going to go right now. I don't have a designated slot time or schedule. I hate schedules. That's one of the reasons why I don't like my real job so much, even though I'm so appreciative of what I have and do and all the benefits that come with it and all the interactions, good or bad, but I hate schedules. I like tuning to the moment. So speaking of the moment, let me see what happens here.
To the sunrests of your soul. Relax, O exalted one. These things you feel inside are the forces of evil striving to break loose. They are no part of you. You will live in perfect harmony with the world around you.
I'm waiting for something terrible. Oh, he's going to the window. Light my fire, baby. Is this a porn or is this a stock footage? Oh, look at the pretty colors and shapes through the window. Uh-oh. Dude, nobody, I mean, I'm sure it's happened in the grand scheme of time, but nobody on pizza toppings and LS, you know what. I don't know, man. It's never been something when I was in that elevated consciousness, I'm gonna jump out a window. Let me race that car and play chicken with it. Like these dangerous things, man. I'm too worried about looking at the texture of my hand or a towel and appreciating my nervous system than I am with anything that involves possibly unaliving myself. So, okay, this is going for scary stock footage stuff. I get it. Reefer, House of Madness. Yep, pretty colors, man. Groovy, bro. Look at those stars, huh? Sit on a ledge while you're tripping. Just don't trip while you're tripping. Nice cars. Whoa, man. You're freaking out, man.
Hey, man, what are you doing out here? I'm floating up to the stars, Joe. Man, you can't float out here. We're 3 stories up. So no, I'm one with the universe. I'm God and Jesus, Joe. I'm going up there. I'm going up like the airplanes, the rockets.
Oh, man. Okay, that's good stuff. I have a nose. It's breathing. The air. Freaking out, man. What is even happening? Okay, plot twist. He's on fire. He's gonna jump out of the window. I can remember many different occasions where maybe paranoia at its best or worst, or anxiety, when I went to the gas station with a friend and I felt like everybody knew, what was going on. When he went in there, I thought he was in there ordering food for like an hour, and I was just too embarrassed. And I sat outside just wallowing in embarrassment and shame that everybody knew. And my old buddy, the Russian fella that I'm not friends with anymore, everybody could tell, and he was going to get us busted. That's the worst. But feeling like I'm on fire, the sensory, they're really, really giving more credit to, whatever, maybe it's really good stuff. I need some of that, because that looks fun. Whoa, what happened?
Now that's the real stuff.
That's the real stuff.
Very, very cool. Very, very cool.
This is 60s jargon, isn't it? I'm losing interest, but I'm intrigued.
Now, everybody who takes it admits that there's always the risk of a bad trip, a bummer.
Bad trip, okay, yeah, they exist.
Even a flip out.
A flip out.
But why be lame, baby? If yourself a real kick.
Dude, the narrator, like 10 points to the narrator. They don't want to be lame, baby. They want to kick. Sometimes a flip out. Who's calling me? How dare you? New York, New York. It's my hometown. Should I take a call? Let's take a call. Hello? Hello? Oh, you're a scammer. What do you want? Oh, he ended the call. Okay, cool.
Tell which ones these will be. Many lose all contact with reality. For instance,
The audio's
some
so
forget what
damn
height
low.
means. And in a turned-on or euphoric state, step or attempt to fly from cliffs and high windows.
This is not
With
happening
real-
on a mass level of execution here. Alright, this is 60 stuff.
Permanent, non-psychedelic results.
Permanent non-psychedelic.
Attempt
Okay.
to merge their being. with
See,
large
what did I just say? I said I never felt compelled to play chicken with the car, and here we go. The footage right there. Okay, I'm a changed man, thoroughly. Yes, I'll never engage in pizza toppings again. This one. Okay, copyright. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna continue to try things until I can't. So, without further ado, fair use, educational purposes. Hey, YouTube, I'm learning what not to do and how not to behave, okay? I don't want to flip out. I don't want to not be groovy, man. So let's check this out, bro. Oh, good old BBC.
I was given
Whoa.
a glass of Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah, this is an individual that's been getting paid out by the CIA, I think. I might have mixed up the videos, but they did something to one of her relatives, a father, and they've been paying this woman for, like, decades.
And so were the other children. This Kool-Aid was spiked with LSD. It was horrible.
In the early days of the Cold War, the CIA ordered the creation of a secret program intended to find ways of mind control. They funded an army of psychiatric
Boy.
institutions across the United States and Canada.
Boghag, let's blow some pot, man. Guys, we're gonna blow some pot today. I like blowing the pot. It's groovy, man. I'm gonna flip out.
To perform experiments on unsuspecting patients using psychedelic drugs, sensory deprivation, electroshock treatment, and more.
So this is
The
CIA
program
Cold
was
War
known by its
stuff.
codename, MK-Ultra.
Getting into it. Question mind control. Oh, the quest for mind control.
At the end of the Korean War, a number of freed American
Should've
POWs
done this
came
at
home
night.
seemingly brainwashed and espousing communist propaganda. American officials suspected that the soldiers had been subjected to what they thought were new communist mind control techniques.
That's right.
Alarmed by the situation,
People that went to war were disenfranchised with the system and everything they saw, and so the government's response was, let's trip them out, man, and let's see if we can make them believe in the system again.
the newly formed CIA allocated $25 million for psychiatric experiments on human beings.
It was the most secret program ever conducted by the CIA in the United States. Patients at psychiatric hospitals, prisoners in federal institutions, and even people in the public were given drugs without their awareness or consent and experiment.
I remember anecdotes like this every time anybody ever tells me to just trust the process, the program, the system, and any official reports given by those that make the rules when they don't live by them themselves. They unknowingly drugged people, okay, that is in our history. Who's to say it's not something that still happens to this very day just for kicks? I mean, I know they still officially say it has been shut down, but I don't know, just something about the government that leads me to not just implicitly blindly trust with my ignorance. I'm a skeptic, sue me.
Experimented upon.
Initial projects within MKUltra included Operation Midnight Climax.
They established what were
What an
called
exotic
safe
name.
houses, where prostitutes would lure men to these apartments. And then once the men were in the apartments, they were dosed with LSD. And then they were basically studied by CIA scientists, usually behind a
That's so creepy, and it reminds me of an actual case. It was portrayed in a movie, The Good Shepherd, where they tortured this Russian man that was innocent, And he did, in fact, jump out of a window after being tortured while he was on pizza toppings.
You wait me, all right?
Another common practice was the hosting and observing of LSD-induced parties with live music. These parties were called acid tests, and the culture that grew out of them played a key role in the development of the hippie and psychedelic movements a few years later. However, some of the most damaging experiments occurred at the Allen Memorial Institute in Montreal, Canada.
This is new
There,
to me.
under the direction of infamous Scottish-American psychiatrist Dr. Ewan Cameron, unsuspecting patients, many of whom had common ailments such as postpartum depression, were experimented on with aggressive drug cocktails and extreme techniques.
My father was a victim of
I don't like
Dr.
seeing that.
Cameron. He was a 27-year-old, healthy skier, canoeer, very athletic, and he had asthma. They told him if he went to the Allen Memorial, they could cure his asthma.
Oh,
My father, Charles, was
that's effed
a
up.
patient of Dr. Cameron's. He had a trigeminal neuralgia, it's called, where there's a pain in the temple that rages.
So, okay, bearing in mind this is in Canada, but it's a Scottish-American scientist. They were tricking people into being cured of their ailments and having them go and then essentially become a test dummy with their brains. Yeah, I trust the government implicitly, okay? If they were to hand me some tap water or something, or yeah, I'd be like, yo, just sign me up. I love my government. Love them so much. I want to kiss CPS on their foreheads.
Radiates into the jaw that apparently is excruciatingly painful. They told him that it was psychosomatic, which it's not, but in those days, what did they know? So they sent him to a shrink. This shrink that he went to was working with Cameron, although we didn't know. So he put my father right into the program.
I was having trouble with my parents and my
Oh, an actual survivor of the MK Ultra program.
mother decided to put me in the Allen Memorial Institute. They had no idea what went on in there. I was 16 when I was there.
Dr. Cameron pursued a concept he called depatterning, which was meant to reduce patients to
CIA and Canada were sued for this? That is something I need to look into. I love examples of the people actually getting something back, even if it's, something that's incomprehensible. You don't think it could ever have actual restitution, but the CIA was sued. That just sounds like a freaking oxymoron to me, just like the moniker progressive and patriot.
infantile psychological state, wherein doctors could take advantage of the person's cognitive vulnerability to attempt to rebuild their mind under the doctor's control. A popular method of choice to achieve this was called psychic driving.
The day that my father was brought to the hospital, they immediately
I don't like
put him
it.
on insulin.
I hate that.
To put him into an insulin coma.
Come on,
They
man.
took clips from the interview with the shrink and put it on tape to run a loop under his pillow while he was put into this sleep treatment.
He also was put in an insulin coma for 36 days
Whoa.
with a recording beside him saying that your mother
We're gonna get you better, but we're gonna put you in a coma for 36 days and play a frickin' 8-track next to your ear. Jesus.
hates you over and over.
Your mother hates you. Hold on. Really? That's grotesque, man.
Saying that your mother hates you over and over and over
Oh my
and
God.
over and over.
That was beside my bed constantly, repeatedly 250,000 and 500,000 times.
Another common method was the use of extreme Page-Russell electroshock therapy.
Page-Russell shock treatment is approximately
While tripping?
40 to 75 times the
God.
strength of a normal shock treatment. So it's really designed to wipe out the memory.
He received 54 high voltage shock treatments, followed by 54 grand mal seizures.
Jesus.
After 27 days of this, they said that they were discouraged because he still had ties to his former life, in
my
that he was
God.
asking to see his wife.
Dude, I don't know what I'm in for tonight. CanCon always has amazing receipts and documents, and everything's verified and vetted. I mean, the dude is an accredited journalist. I am kind of frightened because when it comes to certain things, I'm very cold and stonewalled when it comes to movie gore and stuff. Even desensitized to an extent at real life violence, but some of these traumatic studies, man, they hit me wrong.
He decided to give him more Page-Russell shock treatments and put him to sleep for another 30 days.
When patients were released from the Allen Memorial, they and their families' lives would never be the same again.
Well, there's a lot I could not remember after I got out of the Allen. When my family came, I was a zombie. I didn't even know who they were.
He never came out the same. He had a blank look in his eye. He didn't know who we were. He didn't know we were his daughters. He lost his job. We went into poverty after he came out.
Wow.
He had
Feeling
said
a little
in his
emotional.
interview with the shrink that I was the apple of his eye. And after he came home, he started beating me not long after.
In 1973, the MK Ultra...
Is it that in our older age we feel more, or we can like empathize more? I was never this Am I having a midlife crisis? I think I am. By the way, B. Tim is a good man. I meet him every time I go on that on Queen Bee's panel. Although based on the last time I was there, I'm not certain I'll be going there, at least in the near future.
Ultra program was terminated, and some of the evidence of its activities was systematically erased.
The whole thing was basically discovered because of a whistleblower named John Marks, who wrote the first book really about the program
Manchurian
called The Search for the Manchurian Candidate. There were congressional hearings here in the United States in the mid-70s after it had been exposed. And during those hearings, the CIA finally admitted that this program existed. They admitted that it was probably not the right thing to do, but they feigned innocence.
Despite the congressional hearings and marginal interest in the subject in popular culture, most MKUltra survivors suffered in silence, taking their trauma with them to the grave. Today, having received no formal apology or compensation, the children of some survivors are
That's some fucking bullshit.
pursuing a class action lawsuit against the institutions they deem responsible.
The CIA knew that it was breaking.
How do you hold the CIA, the FBI, the government, or any of its executive branches accountable? And when they pay, is it them really paying, or is it us paying and funding and footing the bill? I don't think any public apology, aside from being a step forward, is anything substantial.
Every moral, ethical, and
They destroyed families and lives, man. And it was just an experiment to them. People in suits and think tanks came up with this kind of idea to warp the minds and memories of citizens, I don't care of what country. It's just disgusting, deplorable behavior. But I love my government. Does Flint have water yet? I think they're still relying on bottled water.
legal law in the books to do these experiments.
They all were behind it. They all knew what they were doing, but they weren't doing it out of care or love. They were doing it out of military and political reasons.
I am on medication now because of what happened to me when I was 16. I have not had any compensation or...
16 years old. I can only relate from my own experiences where I legitimately believed my brain, that I had broken my brain due to overuse of MDMA for the period of 2 years. And I remember crying in a doctor's office with a student because I couldn't afford treatment except for going to a school where a doctor had a student that was being taught. And I remember breaking down and asking, is it possible that I put holes in my brain? I was 19 years old or something at this time, and I did not feel like the person I was for 18 years prior. And I remember when they said, yes, it's quite possible. That I was responsible for breaking my brain and I'd never be the same. And that begun 10 years of me being a monster. So when I hear this woman say at 16 she was put through this crap and she's still suffering the residual effects and still medicated, it breaks my fucking heart and it makes me really pissed.
Apology. I want everyone to know in Canada what went on in that horrible, horrible hospital.
Hey, Thor and Jamie.
While
Jamie, it's good to
historians
see
and
you.
survivors have exposed MKUltra's exploits to the world, much remains unknown about its extent and wider impact. Given the highly sensitive nature of the program's activity, it is likely this will remain the case for years to come.
Oh, man. How do we get justice for something like that, you know? And while I recognize how hollow it is, a public apology, but this family has faced nothing in terms of restitution. What do I have up here? Let me look for the copyright claim. and I don't know, man, I am becoming more empathic, more sympathetic, more compassionate to my fellow man, woman. We are the one race, the human race. When one hurts, we can all relate and hurt. We hurt with them, which is why I build this community, and I try to continue to be a pillar, or at least hold a standard to myself, because I believe in our own interests as, Americans that are often overlooked, or human beings, and I just don't trust any system with any power or control. I just do not. I can't. I'm still going through every email. I'm almost done. I got about 8 left of people sharing their life stories. And I still have to get back to the nonprofit organization that has reached out as an advocacy group for missing people in the Midwest and offering their resources. I still have a lot of work to do. Maybe this vacation will be me focusing on that, or I will fly and go meet somebody that I really want to meet. Let's see what this is. Consequences be damned. One life to live.
Brainwashing. It had money and it was ready to fund
experiments. This is the same thing, isn't it? That place.
That's what led it here to the Allen Memorial Institute, then one of the most prestigious psychiatric hospitals in Canada.
Got another survivor.
And its director, Dr. Ewan Cameron.
These are the days, and ours are the occasion.
Cameron's patients, many of them women with postpartum depression, became guinea pigs in an experiment called depatterning, breaking down the mind with repeated electric shocks and drugs, including massive doses of LSD.
He took my mother away from me.
Allison Steele was 4 when her mother Jean fell into a depression.
I didn't know this all happened in Canada.
And we have pictures of her skiing, horseback riding, always a smile, happy, a person that I didn't know. I never saw my mother this way.
60 years after her mother's treatment, Allison Steele finally has her medical records.
This is where I got to know my mother.
60 years.
What happened to her, the horror that she went through. Pacing the hall this morning, saying, I'm just a prisoner. I feel like Jesus on the cross, can feel the nails in my hands and feet.
Man, this stuff really freaks me out, because I can, I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but I feel when somebody is quoting or reading the words of somebody that's going through these kinds of experiences, my history with anxiety, bipolar, depression, suicidal ideation, and attempts, I know what having a hell inside of your mind is like. And that makes me feel for these people. 60 years they didn't know why she was the way she was, because everything was redacted or held by the institutions that we are always taught to. We're indoctrinated. It's almost the same as being deprogrammed, only we're being programmed from birth. Always trust implicitly the people that print the money, the people that make the laws and the legislation, even though the system is entirely corrupt and rotting out from the inside. We got paid to play politicians, corporations can vote, but meanwhile, we all are adhering to the most fundamental rules. Be kind to one another, at least we try, and unity is almost a joke in the mainstream. And that's something I hope to make kind of a popular notion again, because actions like this that are sanctioned by the people that we are taught to trust blindly will continue to happen. We just don't know about it anymore. They're better at hiding in plain sight, like most predators.
It's just like being buried alive. Somebody, please do something.
Jean Steele was kept in a drug-induced coma for weeks, her brain repeatedly shocked. Dr. Cameron broke her down, but wasn't able to put her back together.
So I just learned over time to not talk to her, because I knew she couldn't. So that made me angry.
In the 90s, the government of Canada, which also funded Cameron's experiments, compensated several dozen patients.
$100,000. What's $100,000 for 60 years of not recognizing your own family, or not? You go in saying your daughter is the apple in your eye, and you go out beating her. $100,000? I'd say I want some blood. But I'm not inciting that, and I'm not implying that that's what it requires, but, sorry.
Completely depatterned, reduced to incontinence, unable to tie shoelaces. Jean Steele wasn't damaged enough, so she and hundreds more received nothing.
These experiments were done without the informed consent of the patients.
Lawyer Alan Stein took up some of the rejected cases. The government's paid a number of settlements since, including $100,000 for Allison Steele. Many of the payments come with non-disclosure agreements.
Of course there's an NDA, because there's always something to hide. So that's why we don't get a public apology, because that's even though they publicly stated they shut down the program entirely, the victims that are still living generations of damage here, or have since passed, and now we just have the survivors of the father or the mother that just have the trauma of having a parent that just didn't quite get fixed. That this is what we have here, and they have to sign NDAs and take the money, shut the fuck up, go live your life, pay your taxes, go, and I'm at a loss. There is no justice for this. My optimism, sometimes I do find myself worrying, which is why the positivity, the encouragement of the community, the comments, the emails, the calls, everything about that, everything that has started does reignite a little spark of hope, just a little bit. But when I envision perhaps things getting larger, I get scared here, because everything starts with great intentions, and then once it gets to a certain spot, I guess that's the most self-defining moment. This is why, as a community, we must function. It's not just one person, okay? This whole thing with the mic and the cam, I don't mean shit. It's the people that bother to give time, replay gang, or joining a live, or an open panel. That's the next thing I'm going to do, is an open panel. Everybody's invited. Because I need to talk to the community here, man. Because I'm finding myself disenfranchised. The videos of CPS, what I believe was absolutely unconstitutional CPS raids, which I have one video, that's the bonus round I mentioned in the title, and then just stuff like this. And I'm going to get red-pilled or black-pilled tonight, apparently, on Rumble.
To do it quietly.
It's not fair. I mean, I feel blessed that I was able to get this far for my parents. I really do. That's what gives me justice. I'm just grateful to be able to do it, and I hope I just hope that you can hear me up there, because it might bring you peace. It might bring you both peace.
Evan Dyer, CBC News. No.
My condolences and my gratitude. I know this is, without promoting, just hopping on a Monday morning or afternoon Eastern Central. Thank you for joining the Progressive Patriot channel, hour, whatever it is, freestyle manic behavior moment. This is what we'd call a rough segue. But here's a video that I just started to watch, and I could tell immediately it was going to piss me off. So I figured, why not get pissed off in real time? Oh, God. All right, well, let's see. Viewer discretion advised. It's just CPS is going to act a fool here, and I could only stomach... of course. Hold on, we're going to kill the volume. I could only stomach less than a minute before I was like, okay, nope, I'm going to watch this live, because I was so pissed off. I have never really been this in tune, or this... I don't know, man. I don't know. What the hell? All right, there we go. I believe this is the foster parents. I don't know. Let's see.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay. See you in court.
All right, see you in court. All right, so we're going to go to court based on...
Here, is that you refused to sign? No, I didn't refuse to sign. I'll be in court.
Okay, but tonight at least, on the 25th, because I'm leaving. I'm going to give you a copy of yours, so you can bring it to court when you...
I'm trying to remain more empathetic to these social workers. They are overworked, and, it has been pointed out to me by people I respect that I do need to remain as unbiased as possible and hear perhaps from both sides. So I do extend my hand to embrace anybody that has any feedback or insight, personal experience with CPS or as CPS. Anonymity is absolutely respected, so is discretion.
You fill out the 5A and you have a public defender, or if you have your own attorney beforehand.
Yeah, that's your copy. Well, that's now I need an attorney. So is this like information of where I can get one on this?
When you come to the courthouse, they're going to provide you with a 5A.
Okay.
This is me taking documentation of my children being taken falsely against our will by...
Okay, I don't feel comfortable being on your video camera.
Comfortably take yourselves out of...
Oh, public workers with this whole I don't want to be on camera thing. You are a public servant and or official unless somebody corrects me. I'm pretty damn sure if our tax dollars... And somebody please correct me. Is it our tax dollars that fund this program and these people's paychecks? What kind of issue? They can take your children, but they don't want to get filmed doing it? This is where my empathy gets really, really low.
At my house.
So we're gonna need the other.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
On video.
No, there's no. I am too. This is my right.
Other paperwork, Tyler.
What
I
other
will go
paperwork?
to court.
The
That's
one
not
that
a
was
problem.
served to you.
But I don't understand.
What? Okay.
signing-
This one is
Okay.
Williams.
I don't
Okay.
want
Can't
to
see me.
sign custody of you.
Can't
but
see
I will
me.
go to court and we'll go from that point. Is that what happened?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll do it that way. I will go to court and we'll go
We'll
that
be
way.
before Judge Contra Coyle, 11 a.m. on the 29th.
I'm not refusing anything. I just don't understand.
Who is he talking to? There's a hand there. I see nothing more than a hand. Who is this man even talking to? I'm very curious. Are we still on the LSD topic? Huh. Yeah, no, because, beyond this, there's nothing you see here. Whoa, bro, we got John Cena in the house.
And here we are asking why this is
something
happening, and
that I
she's
gotta go to
cowering
court
away
anyway.
instead of giving the answers she needs to give. I gotta give my paperwork back too. We're being rushed to surrender children for no reason.
Alright, well, I got my copy.
These are the officers that are escorting. They're being very calm and polite.
At least the officers that recognize their service to us are standing there without trying to encumber the vision of people that could see them. Hiding right there is such a ridiculous optic, and I think CPS as a whole needs to embrace being filmed. If you're going to take someone's children away, you better be damn well ready for the repercussions and the public fallout of such an activity, especially if it is some sort of a raid, which is like these people were kind of cornered out of the blue and they just showed up. There's a whole bunch of context I am missing here, but we need more oversight and transparency.
I mean, I don't get in trouble when I'm honest. I gotta go to court.
No, you don't
have
have
every
to.
right to not sign.
Guys. They're ready. Say hi. We're on. I'm gonna have this on recording.
All right. I didn't know. Yeah, of course. All right. They're showing the kids' faces. This is what it looks like.
We're being told. We're being taken away by mommy. From mommy.
Yay, cool.
You can't mark something for me.
You hear the disenfranchisement? I don't know if that's the term here in the very kids' voices. Oh yeah, cool. Like, wow, man, they're already like getting hardened inside. Like that's freaking alarming. That's devastating.
I didn't. No, I'm not. I'm taking my time. Gabby, is it? Gross. Gabby. I'm sorry. What's your last name? Babe, can you hold the camera steadily while I refuse not to sign this egregious action based on her outrageous claims?
She got hospital bands on.
I'm sorry, I gave you the folder. What do you want me to say? Please detail for me what you need from me. That I'm signing that I'm not happy with your decision, that I don't agree. Am I allowed to use your pen, or are you going to hold it hostage and wait longer?
It is the lower income families that are absconded the most. Children that come from more impoverished houses statistically are taken far more than any other household, obviously. And then they're put in the foster care system where, the stats I recall, hundreds of thousands just go homeless, missing, or what the hell, or get put with parents that become even more abusive than anything they ever knew. So I cannot disparage and cast a wide net over the entirety of CPS and every single worker. There's got to be some good. There has to be. I refuse to believe an entire institution is predicated or based on the evils of humanity. But the things that I've seen recently, I really need somebody from the other side to reach out to me, because I'm really losing hope in this entire foundation. I know they've done good.
Okay. Now I'm signing what? Where do I sign that I don't agree?
It's just gonna be that you refuse.
Take care, Wolverine.
Okay.
Check it off.
This one here.
Yes. You're refusing.
Then you may
refusing to sign. Correct?
Refusing to sign that, yes, because you are outrageously claiming a bunch of false accusations over me to take my 4 children and my new baby after getting out of the hospital with my daughter's early birth, instead of being concerned about that. This is what you're concerned about doing. So yes.
We're absolutely concerned about your child that was just born.
Me too.
Absolutely.
So
that's why the referral.
I'm more concerned than you are.
Okay.
Because it's my kid.
All right, see, I was trying to be devil's advocate when I saw hospital bands. I'm like, okay, something may have happened, but she had just given birth, and they swoop in and take all of her children, including the newborn? Wow.
Recorded and documented.
Do you think
shown and to our
that
defenses.
she would be more concerned for your kid than you would be for your kid? What would be your guess on that?
Slow down. The camera's gonna show. So
Do you
gotta
think
be
that
slow.
you would care for your kid better than? In other words, would you trust her with your kid or you with your kid if something broke out? If there was ever a problem.
Oh, let's
like,
get them ready. Okay.
suppose like they
Honey,
came over. I do
honey,
know the answer.
this
So
is the
I
third
would
time.
not want her with my
You-
kid. I
listen,
want my kid
give
with
me the
me.
camera because you gotta be steady with it. Now we're going to calmly, hands over the children we're saying aren't in danger,
Okay.
and pass my methadone prescription bottle that I'm not a client of.
Okay, all right. The plot thickens, I suppose. I mean, I take very small microdoses of Suboxone, and I have been doing so for a long time. She is on a maintenance program. She said she is currently taking or not taking. It's just a bottle, so clearly, I have to continue to try to hold myself to the highest standard of honesty and ensure that my statements are as damn near accurate as possibly can be, but I am human. So I'm bearing in mind, this is all real time, alright? I saved this video for real time.
Yeah, get it on the tape.
I am. So this can all go to news channel.
But I mean, methadone, bro, she's not shooting up. I mean, methadone can be misused. Suboxone can be misused for only so long until you hit the opioid wall here, so to speak, the naproxen or whatever. But taking your children away while you're on a maintenance program or using that as a weapon, and people that, some of the stories that have been shared with me, I will be vague. There's been example after example of shitty parents, either the mother or the father, weaponizing CPS with hearsay, false allegations, coaching children to take the child away from the honest and the good parent. All not because one cares more about the child than the other, but it's out of spite. It's like it's equivalent of being like a troll that hates for the sake of hating because it's fun, only worse because there's actually something that happens as a result of that spite and hate.
11. These wonderful ladies and all their protection. Yeah. You guys ready to go?
Mm-hmm.
Where you gonna go, Uncle Riches?
I think so, and I hope.
Okay, they get to go to another family member, I hope.
Well, you don't need soups. Oh, the food that isn't in my home. Or the cleanliness. It's alright, that's okay. You can keep them, just if you want them.
Well, they were for
I'll be around.
You could try one. I mean, soy sauce.
Now, what's my indication with my children now? No, I actually can't. I can.
I don't appreciate being on the camera.
I don't appreciate being in my.
Stop with the camera bullshit. You're in somebody's home. You're taking their kids. Shut the fuck up about being on camera. My God. Grow up.
home. I'm calmly trying to talk to you.
Oh, can you just put the...
Yeah, I lowered it. I lowered it. I moved it from your eyesight. This is
probably more than
this man is mistakenly thinking the police are there for them. They're there to enforce the law. As much I could see as it possibly pains them in their eyes there, but they're there to do their job and nothing more. They're protecting the Child Protective Services. They're there to protect the children by whisking them away from the caring adults, parents in this home. That one obviously has had a drug problem and has been or is on a maintenance program. But he is desperately trying to get help right there, and it's heartbreaking. It's just, he doesn't realize it's not how the system is built. They are below a certain income level, and I guess the allegations or whatever was said at the hospital was enough. And now, not just the newborn, but all the children. That's a blow I couldn't even understand. My niece, my nephew, it's the closest thing I got. I'd be horrified. I'd be punching people. I'd be unalived or put in prison, and they'd have to make me unconscious. I am so protective of my niece and my nephew. So then I will applaud the restraint of these people not shaking while doing that camera, knowing the investment that there is here, which is giving a shit about your own blood.
Now that you guys are removing my children against my will, am I able to see my children now? What goes on with me? Am I an alien? Am I not allowed near my kids if they're at my uncle's?
Absolutely.
What goes on? No, don't absolutely. Be very specific and very clear as to how you handle the questions I'm asking you.
Okay, so because of the hour right now, we're doing the physical for the children, like physical examination.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning, I'll be taking them to the office.
Okay.
Taking them back home. Within 5 days, you have to have a visit with your children. Luckily, because you live so close, and Richard is a licensed resource parent, he can most likely, and I don't see an issue with it, supervise your contact with your children.
So I have to have supervised contact with my kids.
Now, what about me visiting my daughter at the hospital? I'm going to continue to do that.
Most situations at the hospitals, they have staff that can.
I'm already approved
be
to
right
visit
there.
my daughter.
Okay. Well, we'll get there when we get there.
I'm still going to visit my daughter.
They're trying to instill doubt that this man can visit his daughter in the hospital? I don't want to make the assumption that it's the newborn, but they can police your own visitation in a place of care. When we surrender somebody to a hospital, it's to be taken care of and to ensure that we have a lifeline to see the person that is being taken care of at the most vulnerable moments. When I had my lung surgery, I don't care how good the surgeon was and the specialists and the staff, if my mother and father were not visiting me, I'm sorry, this manic mind works the way it does. I lost an aunt during the COVID outbreak, and it was one of the cases in New Jersey where it was a ventilator. You know, she was fine, they put her on a ventilator, and goodbye to my aunt. And they quarantined her, and nobody could see her, so she died alone. And that's the power that we give to these institutions? Are they really there to help us or serve some other purpose, you know? Because it looks like all of our freedoms are surrendered once we go for help anywhere, really. I don't know.
Well, we're asking what's our next step.
Your daughter in the hospital, there are appropriate supervisors in the hospital.
Shut the fuck
Staff
up.
are always there. That's not an issue.
He's asking, what about me? This is my daughter as well. What about me?
You as well.
I can go up to there and see her as well.
Oh, thank you so much. I can visit my own frickin' newborn.
As we need to, as we see fit. Okay.
There's always a supervisor.
This is all being
or
recorded for
staff
our protection, babe.
Well, the early birth, they're
It's okay.
kind of coming to the conclusion that it was due to stress.
Yeah.
Stress caused
It's okay.
by you guys.
It's okay. I have nothing but this will all be worked out. But now we're a little bit more secure with the fact that these nice gentlemen here are being so cooperative. These lovely ladies are being so protective of our children, and we're getting the proper education to know our next step and move legally. Right?
Yep.
We're all on the same page or video.
Well, I really applaud the attempt here. Even if, she's being a little facetious, she's really doing her best with her composure given the circumstances. Yeah, I'm kind of at a loss, really, to be truthful.
So let's proceed accordingly.
Okay, so I'm going to take them to Uncle Richard's.
Okay.
And then get settled in, go to bed.
Okay.
The illusion of freedom is when they take freedoms away and then give them back, and then we're supposed to thank them.
Them up before school and do the physical and drop them off.
Okay.
At school.
Okay.
Unless for some reason the physical takes all day. I can update you as the day goes on.
Physical take all day. Guys, are you ready?
Yeah.
Go to now.
We're trying to pack melon.
No, you're not packing melon. Come on.
I'm not saying, I'm just saying in general. There's not a scheduled time. It's the nurse.
To get in the 75th Ranger Regiment took 15 minutes
So
for me to do
so tomorrow, let's be clear, tomorrow I can go to the hospital. Babe, she's saying this camera light is too strong for her and for her. So if you can just angle it to where it's not
it's not that
affecting
it's
them.
too strong. I don't appreciate being on your video camera. That's exactly what
Well, we don't appreciate the allegations were being made at us either.
So we didn't make the allegations. We follow up. And we
Okay,
have an
you
open
are. Then
investigation.
you have the right to stand here and leave my home.
I need to come. I have the children.
We're getting them prepared.
You surrender your right to privacy when you are let in somebody's fucking home, okay? Like, that should be just universally understood. I need to give credit to the video, the people that uploaded this video and went through this experience before this is over. But, Jesus, the biggest issue is not that she is obviously removing children from a family that is clearly invested in caring and has been through some shit, I'm sure. Everyday Americans, we've been through some shit. She's more upset that she is being filmed, and there's a little light from a little itty-bitty camera on the phone. That's the big issue here. That Miss Karen over here is being filmed. Maybe it's because she knows she's doing something maybe not completely on the up, and I'm only speculating here. I get it, the jobs aren't easy, but with a whole frame of reference here, this should be the last of her concern. I don't appreciate being filmed. Well, you're doing a public servant's job, lady.
The light is a light. You will live. It's a light.
It's a video camera, not just about the light. You have video footage of us.
Yeah,
we have
so we're allowed to. This is our right.
Images of us. So we're explaining to you, you want us out of your home?
No, you don't. She doesn't like the light.
We don't want you in the home at all. How about that?
Being recorded.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I like the fact that my kids are being removed.
I don't like the fact that you're buttoning my life.
I don't like the fact that you're removing my children against
Be
my
honest
mom.
with you.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
We don't come into your life for no reason.
Be safe, Nellie. We love you.
Those are reasons.
We're not going to go down memory
That's
lane.
leading in with an implication.
Excuse me.
And a child in placement for 2 years.
My child in placement.
2 years? What?
Be careful.
But we're not here for no reason.
No.
All right, listen, you guys, listen. You be good. You follow the rules.
You guys do good.
You're
We
only
love
going to
you.
Uncle Rich's.
We love you.
Okay?
We love you very much, guys. Okay. Do you want to come on with the nice? I don't know the nice officer's name, but they're going to be very polite.
Be polite. Listen to what everybody says.
You got everything you need. Mommy will accordingly, with supervision.
I no longer judge the contents of anybody's character based on anything facial. Like that infers a history and a past. She's a survivor. She's been on a maintenance program. I'm not defending the actions. I don't know. I have to accept there's elements of this I do not know, but I understand the logistics of optics and the way people look. We all stereotype, profile, or judge one way or another. I'm convinced. I've had this conversation in depth. It's something primitive in our DNA. We see something, see somebody, where our brain is going through the process of trying to identify if they look safe or not. So I understand judgments that may be cast or disparaged here, or disparaged. I don't know.
Bring you whatever you need, okay?
Watch him scratching, number Nelly.
Oh, okay. Okay, put the baby down.
There's no marks on the kids. I mean, I can only see what we all see, right? But yeah.
Kid that's so frightened from me.
Come on.
Walk up and kiss me. He's so afraid of me.
Coda, you can't drag this out any further. Apparently, we're being inappropriate to their time schedule of family robbery.
Finish your drink. Uncle Rich has got sodas and stuff there. You'll be okay. Here,
Okay? Go be good for Uncle Rich and Aunt Pat, okay? We love you.
Could it be as simple... Like, I know I'm only freestyling here, but could it be as simple if there was some sort of allegation or abuse, all they could find is an empty methadone bottle? If it was that serious, instead of taking the kids away and threatening 2 years of not being able to see them, a visitation within the next 5 days, why couldn't the police do a general search if they would consent? And then nothing is found, okay, the kids are left here. I don't know. I'm just, I'm thinking out loud.
I'm gonna put that in here.
Love you guys.
Make sure you see Mom.
Officer, have a good night. You too. Thank you.
What is your name again, Officer? Dennis? Yes. Okay. I want to make sure it's No, I'm not trying to.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You guys have a good night. Sorry it took so long to all the legal jargon of unsafety.
Officers, thank you. Have a good night.
Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.
Damn, that kind of sound of the void
Do
there,
you want to
man.
walk out to the car and watch them get in? Slowly with the camera.
Kind of ominous, like walking into the great unknown, or just my visual here. I don't. If that was my niece and my nephew walking away from me, documentation, paperwork, be damned.
You guys be good and listen to Uncle Rich, and I love you.
Alrighty.
Okay?
So mommy said bye again.
Okay. Coda, listen to Uncle Rich. Go ahead, and I'll shine a light so you guys can
I'll call
see.
Tyler first thing in the morning after their physical.
The kids appear to be blissfully unaware of the severity of the situation, and they do not appear to be happy to be leaving or or afraid of parents. I'm only going off of what we've seen in the past 10 minutes.
All right.
Okay. And make sure that visit's set up and.
All right. I'll be in back and forth from the hospital too all weekend and whatever.
We'll work this out because we're a family and we've done nothing wrong, and it'll all work out.
Having a past is not wrong. It is not a punishable offense to have had a past. To be a survivor and a fighter is something to be celebrated. I hope with every ounce of my hope in general that they're not judging off of anything from her history. There better have been damn good reason. I'm curious as to the specific allegation.
I just, out of surgery.
I just told Bill, as soon as the physical's done in the morning, I'll give you a call. We'll set up the visitation.
I have to set up visitation. I can't just see them.
I have to just confirm with your uncle that he's willing to supervise contact.
He is.
Okay, no, it's okay. All right.
Okay.
All right, well.
Have a good night.
You guys did a wonderful job protecting and serving our lady tonight.
Have a good night. Good night.
Good night. So much for their. We're not trying to take their family crap, right?
Yeah.
This is how they don't take a family.
We were told they were not taking our kids.
Oh.
All right, wait. Bye. This is how it's the third time of harassment.
Roberto Romero Jr., 2018. There was a pretense of not having their kids taken away, only had to have their kids taken away.
So I'm going to get a phone call when I get to see my kids again.
Let me check. Sometimes there's feedback in the comments. DHFS kidnapping kids with any proof of kids in danger. I'm gonna subscribe right now so I can maybe reach out.
I told you they were gonna do this. I told you they were gonna do this to me. I told you.
Well, get them back. Come on. You got to change your feet. Come on. Come on.
She just gave birth.
Ow, ow.
Watch where you're going.
The rocks, I can't see, the harsh.
Yeah, how do you stop whatever we're doing here now?
I'm gonna have to stop by it. Alright, I guess that's us signing off. I don't know what time it is, but hopefully someone can fucking help us, please.
Let's, oh, Jesus. Hold on.
My husband's...
Going back, something I need to do. There are years past this. Is there anything I can find? The last comment was 2 months ago. You handled yourself accordingly, and I give you huge props for that. I'm looking for any sort of feedback real quick while I can.
So you can see what I used to struggle with. Look at the before and after photo.
Okay, give me a Oh, YouTube, bless your heart. Okay, stop right there. Yes, talking to YouTube works better than actually just operating it. Let me see. I'm just curious. For the people who think CPS doesn't take children over rumors, 5 years ago, my friend laid down to take a nap with her 4-year-old son, 2-year-old daughter, and 6-month-old daughter. Her 4-year-old son woke up, got his mom's cell phone, and called 911. He was on the phone with 911 for about 30 minutes before his mom woke up and took the phone away. Minutes after explaining to 911 that they were napping and her son called 911 by accident, police and CPS were at the door. All 3 of her children were taken for negligent parenting. Apparently, it's unlawful to take a nap the same time as your children. My friend went through a 3-month... I'm free to click things here. A 3-month court battle before getting her kids back. Even after the judge dropped the case and told CPS to leave her alone, CPS still continued to visit her home for months. Once you're in that database or system, man, that's my fear of databases, cataloging things just to use it against us, not to really do anything to assist us. I can understand how that could perhaps work to a child in needs, defense. I'm gonna leave a comment and hope that I don't know. I hope their family's happy. And then I'm gonna sign off here. I am interested. in learning of the events that transpired, please feel free to reach out if you find the time. Thank you. I'll offer my email, progressivepatriot44@gmail.com. There's far worse horror stories in my inbox right now as we speak. Let me, before I go, as a little OD to people that have told me it's okay, some of the things that they share, it's okay to talk about. So keeping that in mind, let me take a quick look or browse at my inbox. I flipped it, so the discretion clause, as I call it, is always respected and held in the highest regard. There's kind of an unsung hero that's been with us, and I don't know how this individual would feel if I just, when somebody shares a lot of what they go through and do on a day-to-day, and you feel like they're not getting, their just desserts or a proper thanks of gratitude, and they're dealing with the worst of society and saving lives. So by that description, I hope you know who you are, and I'm not going to put your name on blast, but I just emailed you today at 11 in the morning because I've been falling behind. So just know, I hope you know who you are when I describe you. You're doing, this is not a term I ever use, okay, but I don't know how else to say it. You're doing God's work out there, okay? You're saving lives, and you see some of the craziest, roughest things that humanity can ever bring to your eyes, man. Thank you. I have extended, the bullshit session. If you want my phone number, I'm gonna send it to you right now. You need to be talking to somebody, and this community is here for just that. What you're doing is not unrecognized in the lives that you're touching and helping. We see you, and I respect that you're not entirely public about it. If I did any of the things that you have explained to me that you go through just yesterday, it's something that just me being me, I talk about everything to get through things. So please know this community, this source, myself, and everybody here, we're here for you the moment that you say so. And that next video, that next live I'm doing, I don't know if it's tonight or tomorrow or Wednesday, because there's things that Rumble with CanCon, the Valdez family, and then the panel channel. You're invited if you accept. You're more than welcome to. We don't have to talk about things you don't want to talk about. I won't bring up a damn thing that you don't bring up yourself. But thank you. You know who you are. Okay? You are appreciated. You are such a valuable asset of society, of the world. Okay? The world turns just a little bit more peaceful with you in it and the work you do. So okay, I do apologize that I've been neglecting going on at night. Nights have been strange recently, but I'm holding true to my opening statement. I truly believe that right now it is a good time to put the bottle down. I got one bottle here left, and I'm gonna pour it out. Probably gonna make a YouTube short out of it or something. And damn it, it's good bourbon, but I need to try to get more clarity because there's something bigger than me here. And I recognize that. And I owe it to everybody that's entrusted me with the information and the sources, the material, the topics to talk about, to learn about, to be my best possible self. And I will strive to do just that and be worthy of everything that's transpired. So thank you for joining me on the Progressive Patriot Hour in the day. I'm working on, some kind of schedule, even though I hate it for nights. But until the next time, be there for one another. Justice for just us, because the system, they don't serve us. I don't care how you spin it or what feel-good story the media will play. They don't serve us. We need to serve one another. There's a greater purpose and understanding in service. You feel a sense of reward when you assist or help your neighbor. So go ahead. Today make sure you do something a little different. Go outside, knock on your neighbor's door that you maybe talk to or don't talk to, or you started hitting each other because one got vaccinated and the other didn't. Whatever the case, he voted for that person, you voted for that person. Go ahead, please, give it a shot. When you go to the grocery store, say something nice, do something positive, and I promise you will feel rewarded in that. And it especially helps if you feel you're isolating. You are not alone. You are a part of a family. Creek Squad, Red Rebel Nation, Power Strokes people, everything that's transpired, breaking Fetty's family, the pro-Pat fam. We are all really just one. We're not factioned. We're not as divided as the powers that be want us to think we are. And we remind them of that. We show them just that. I promise you, they'll start to feel the real fear of not being the proper representatives of their constituency. We are the constituents, and we're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Am I right? Progressive Patriot, out. Have a lovely day. Do something. Do something. Harness your energy.